Hello my creative friends. This is going to be a quick one. I just thought I'm going to be mixing up some resin in a really nice clear glass jar, and I thought I would just show some beginners how I mix my resin up in an effort to help you gain confidence and to know what to expect. So I'm using my Mag resin. As you all know, I love it. And I'm going to be mixing up 500 mils, but for this I might actually mix up 400 to make it easier. I've got my millage on the side here, and I love having my millage on each side so I can see through exactly how much I'm pouring. I nearly poured part B in first, but out of best practice for myself, I have a habit of always doing part A first, and it's just because it helps me know exactly where I'm at. Before you ever pour any of your resin, double check what your parts are. This is 1 part, 1 part, so equal part mix. Some resins come in 1 part to 2 parts and even 1 part to 3 parts, and then there are even more complicated ones down the track. But our Mag resin here that we're using today is equal parts. So I'm going to pour in 200 ml of part A. There we go. Let that drizzle out. Put its lid back on so that I know that part A's lid is on part A, and I don't have a issue where my lid becomes stuck and I have to decanter it out. And part B now, another 200 mils, bringing it up to 400 mils. There we go. It's a little bit over. And most resin companies allow for a small minor miscalculation, but really try your hardest to keep it accurate. And I'm really hoping that you can see that it's already good doing its stringy interaction. And so what we need to do now is mix our resin, taking careful attention to scrape the sides and the bottom so that we are going to end up with a really clear liquid. Now, I don't go like this vigorously. It does help with the time, but I've noticed that if I just take my time and relax, I enjoy the stirring process, and it helps me not get so many air bubbles. I'm just pulling the sides and also scraping off my stirring stick so that I know that all of my resin is mixing in well together. So I'm going to bring it down now and just keep stirring, and we'll speed this process up. Just one more time reminding you that what we're looking for is absolute clarity, and we're going around our sides, scraping off the sides, scraping down into the bottom to really make sure that there are no hidden little milky stringy bits in our resin. It's a really important process, the mixing, and that's just simply because if your resin is not mixed well, you're at risk of your resin not curing well. You'll have sticky bits on the top, and it'll be very frustrating for you. No, all good epoxy resins have a beautiful glossy finish. There's never any stickiness associated. It's like a glass shine. You might feel a little bit of friction in the first 24 hours after the pour on your surface layer after it's done the first 24-hour cure, but after 48 hours it just should be nice and slidey. So I'm still stirring. I'll bring this up to show you that we're quite clear now. Got a few air bubbles in. And I'm having a good look. There's no streaky bits. So we'll call that done. Remember also to wear your P2 graded mask. And if you have to get a temporary mask, get one that's got activated carbon in it. Has a little filter on the side. And also nitrile gloves are the preferred glove because they're non-porous, and it just means that the weave of the plastic is really, really tight, so there's less chance of seepage through to your hands. If you've got sensitivity, really get yourself checked. All right, I hope this helped. So we did our nice mixing video and I went and had my lunch, and I want to come back to show you how to mix up your pigments, and I've left my resin in there too long and it's cured in there. So this is an example of what not to do when you've mixed up just over 400 mils of resin and you leave it and you say to yourself, I'll go and have a cup of tea, and the buzzer goes off and you go, nah, 10 more minutes, and that 10 minutes was 10 minutes too late. Now, just so you know what might have happened here, it's because the resin's in a large amount. When you've poured your resin and you've got a huge amount of it like this, you know, like it's this deep and this is not casting resin, it will cure a lot quicker. I'm not exactly sure of the chemical reason, but if I'd separated this into the smaller cups for mixing, it wouldn't have cured. It's still really, really hot on the outside. So it's in its curing process, and I'm thinking I might even go and sit this in a glass, a jug of water or something, so that the glass doesn't crack, because it actually looks cool. But yeah, not only did you learn or have a look at how I mix, you had a look at how I mess up. So don't walk off on your resin is the lesson. Oh. Anyway, let me know what you think.